Shalom, shalom, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone, and peace and salutations to the late other nation of Israel, and to speckled Israelites that are scattered abroad that look like the heathen nations. To y'all say shalom, and shalom to all you brothers and sisters that may be out there listening, learning to these videos, and shalom to all you brothers and all you Akim that's out there doing the work. The truth and sincerity, laboring for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, these latter times, trying to wake up the elect of Israel. To this of our people, of you so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and Native Americans will be destroyed. But that's who the real Israelites are. You know, you so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, so-called Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, so-called Jamaicans, Haitians, Guatemalans, the Panamanians. Those are the Israelites, the real, Jews, which really the word Jew goes back to the word Judah, which is like the head tribe of the Israelites, man, which is 12 tribes, man. There's not no 5 or it's not no 12 tribes of Judah, like I heard Kanye say that, but there's 12 tribes of Israel, right? Israel is the name of a man, right? He had 12 sons, and that's who we descend from, right? But I want to do a video about saying that this word is not going to be, out too much longer. And, this word has gone out, and everything is being exposed at an all-time high. And our people have absolutely no excuse to say they have not heard, and you can't, with the Lord, you can't be neutral. Like, you can't not be on this side or that side, you trying to be in the middle. Nah, it don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. Us brothers that's in this knowledge, man. We free YASHAMIAHLA. We follow His ways. We don't want to be around you, right? If you in that mindset of, I don't know which side I'm on. I don't want to offend up my. No, to hell with that, man. We do want to offend people, not like in a way that we trying to like threaten them or anything, but like the word of the Lord is not. It's not for the majority of people. Right, the Lord's only dealing with the Israelites, and amongst His own people, He has a remnant. He ain't even dealing with all His own people, right? That's only who He will save. But I want to start off with the scripture in 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3. It says, 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3. It says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost." Right. So what does that mean? Basically, if you can't understand this Bible and truth and sincerity, and you don't understand why the things that are going on in this world, the way they are, right? The Lord's not dealing with you, man, because the average Israelite, man, that's not in the truth, they see things happening in the world, they just believe it, right? Or a lie could be exposed about about what's going on, with this or that, and they like I said, they'll still believe it. They won't do no research. They won't even question which Esau, Edom is the biblical nationality of the so-called white race, who you call Caucasians, right? But they won't go question or do research of what this man says on his news media outlets, CNN, Fox News, NBC, ABC News, whatever you call them, different news stations. Good Morning America. That's what it is. That's one of them, right? If you don't understand what's going on in this world, or like I said, you want to be neutral, hey, you ultimately don't understand this Bible, because we understand what's going on. We know why it's happening, right? The Lord said He came to send division, right? But another point of why I wanted to basically I'm probably gonna label this video that, like, the word is going out, the famine of the word is coming soon, is because earlier, I was talking with a family member and stuff like that in the car, and she brought up something like, I think it was like two Jake women, Eves, so-called black women, right? I guess they were like fighting in the hotel, but like they had all went out on like a what was it? They had all went out to like Cabo, Mexico, I think, or something like that. And at first, when she brought it up, I was like, I didn't hear about that. But then I do remember I seen a video about two, Eve, so-called black women. They was fighting, and the other one that was on the ground looked like she was losing. It looked like something was wrong, clearly. But she was saying that, that's crazy how they, was just Their friends was just watching them. They was telling her to fight back, but and they was acting like they didn't know that something was wrong. Well, they knew something was wrong. And also, I brought up, to him that I was watching. It was a brother that I seen. The brother shared it, so I don't follow him or anything. I believe that we the Israelites. I follow the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. I don't follow nothing else. Outside of this truth. We only read this Bible. We don't get into no other weird books. The Book of Jasher, Enoch, Jubilees, all them weird books. We don't get into that. We only get into the 1611 King James Bible. But um, I was listening to a video on Reza Islam. That dude, he was exposing the government. But like I said, a brother, I forgot what brother, he like shared the video. Like I said, he was on like a podcast. So I don't follow him or anything like that. But I just listened to the video. It's like an 8-minute video. And I brought up, certain things about him, to this family member. And then, I was like saying that he's not the only one that speaks out on these things. And, to drive the point home, I was like I said, everything is out there. It's not no reason to be neutral, And which really a lot of our people have already chosen their side. You on the side of Esau, right? Because I think I don't know if she brought up Kyrie or I don't know. She probably did bring up Kyrie Irving because she, about him, still playing basketball. And I was saying he could have retired and stuff like that. And he had enough money to start their own league. And, she was like, you don't know what that man, is going through or, something like that. I'm like, the Lord said, whoso loses his life for my name's sake shall find it. Right? Whoso will gain his life, or try to find his life, she'll lose it. So if you basically trying to keep your lifestyle that you live in this current state of America, you're going to lose it because the plans that the elites of Esau, Edom have, is not for your benefit. It's not for your benefit, right? That's why the Lord commanded us to be on our watch, man. And I'm gonna read the 4th verse of this, because I know I've been talking. I'm gonna read the 4th verse of this chapter. It says, right, matter of fact, I'm going to reread verse 3. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Right, because what do we preach? We preach that we're the Israelites. We preach that salvation is only for us. We preach that the Lord didn't have all people come together. Right, he has a separate people, a chosen people. Right, and the Lord is not with the majority of things that these people believe in these churches. He's not with that. The true God of the Bible that you claim you believe in, if you read the Bible, it's clear as day that he doesn't believe those things, and I ain't gotta go into everything, as far as, and particularly you study yourself, you study to show yourself approved, right? It says, whom the God of this world have blinded with the minds of them which believe not. So who's the God of this world, right? It's the spiritual demon Satan, which is on a physical level is Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man. They have control of what we learn in the school systems, how we think about medicine, how we think about health, how we think that we're supposed to live our life, getting a career. We didn't always live in America, right? And the way that we do live in this current, state, we taught to get a job, go to college. College didn't always even exist. Who made that up? Who made up the thing called college, right? Who called you so-called black, African American, or Hispanic, or Native American? Who called you that? Right? Just the majority of things that we know, like we're raised really by the system, like by this government, man. Because most of the time, as when we were growing up before it was in this true, brothers, we all went to school and stuff. You in school, learning from somebody else that's not your parent most of the time than you are with your own parents learning. So who are you learning from? Where are you getting your way of thinking from? Your way of processing things from? You getting it from them. They teach us about the Greeks. They teach us about the civil rights movement, and slavery, and stuff like that. All these things that everybody know, but they don't go deep into it like how we do. They don't tell you how that this land. Well, they do tell you that a little bit like this land was they had slaves and stuff, but they don't really go deep into it. They always teach us about prominent so-called white people, but the history of the prominent so-called white people is bad. It's not good. Like I said, that's what I mean. They don't go in depth with it, or they don't go too far back into history, because certain things it would be like it would have to be uncovered, because there would be some missing pieces of the puzzle. So the point is that, like I said, everything is being exposed, and you Jakes don't have no excuse, right? And if you don't believe in this Bible, or you believe that it's hate speech, or because a lot of Jakes, they really don't believe in the Bible. They're really anti-Hamashiachs, man. Like Christians say, oh, there's one antichrist. No, that's anybody could be an anti-Messiah. If you don't believe in this Bible for word, and what it says it is, the sincerity and the truth, which really the mysteries of this Bible is not revealed to everybody. It's only revealed to the Israelites, the men that are part of the elect, right? Which the people in these churches, they don't have the truth, man. They were set up, by the government, to teach you lies, to teach you falsehood, to teach you things that's gonna not benefit you in the long run, right? Let me reread this again. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who was the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. You see? So, like I said, the God of this world is Esau, Edom, man, the so-called white man. The scriptures say in the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, right? And like I said, I'm going to keep saying this throughout the video, everything is being exposed, right? This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So, right, we know that there's the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, and who the world really calls Jesus. His name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew. That's his real name. It ain't no Ahaya or Yahuwah or Yosha, whatever the hell these other bugged out Israelites be saying. That's not the names. It's Yahweh Shai and Yahweh, right? But I'm going to reread this. It says, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where who is he? So these people that covered up history, which, like I said, if you look up history and, you go deep into it versus what we was told growing up, these people that hid it and they taught us the wrong things, those are the people that the earth has been given into, which, what? Like I said, we learn about prominent so-called white people. We learn about all these Edomites that, which they're Edomites. We learn about all these different Edomites that do all these different things. All we really learn about as far as our history is Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. We don't really learn nothing else. You learn about so-called science and all that stuff, about how the world was made and all that stuff. But we don't really learn, like I said, about deep stuff, man. A lot of stuff was hidden. And there is a race of people that is in control of this, and that's the so-called white men, right? Hey, that song Tupac got, he said this is a white man's world. He's true on that, which is an Edomites world, because they're the Edomites, man. They're the nation that the Lord hates, right? They're the nation that the Lord hates. The Lord is not with everybody, man. The Lord is only with the elect of Israel, right? And Salakia. I also want to mention that, I know TikTok is trying to ban, or not TikTok, but they're trying to ban TikTok because so much information is going out there, man. Let's get that in the book of Psalms chapter 19 real quick, right? Because the scriptures say their line is going out throughout all of the earth, right? This word, man. When that time of judgment finally comes, man, and that day of reckoning comes, man, it ain't gonna be what you thought it was, man. But like the scriptures say, the first scripture I brought out, if our gospel be hid, it's hid to them that are lost. You lost, right? If you don't understand why there's so much evil happening, because the Yahweh Shai hasn't revealed it unto you. Ultimately, he has allowed you to be deceived by this so-called white man, right? AKA the devil or the deceiver, which devil means deceiver, right? That old serpent. The so-called white man goes back to the serpent that's in the garden, man. Which is not a literal serpent like a literal snake. It was a man, but it just speaks of him. It speaks of that man in that way because that's his character. Is being sneaky, right? This is Psalms 19 and verse 2. It says, "Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. And there is no speech, no language where their voice is not heard." So Every day there's information going out about who we are. Every day we're telling you to repent. You know, brothers I know in Great Millstone, you can't even count how many videos they be doing. You know, especially the apostles and elders, man. You know, but I know with this Kyrie thing, he apologized and all that stuff, and you know, he can play now. But who you have front and center that wants everybody's attention? IUIC, which it shouldn't be IUIC. It should be IUIY, Israel United in Yahushua. But they're not gonna do that because they bought and paid for by who? The so-called white man, Esau Edom. They got a 501c3. They doing that all for show. You know, and they got all these different men in they camp or whatever. Man, there should be millions of IUIC pages. You know why there's not? Because most of the men are not. They're not sincere, right? And they're just going along to get along. You know, they're doing it because they think it's a fad or a trend or something to be, you know, popping. Nah, that's not why. I'm not in this thing because of that, right? I didn't sacrifice, you know, in my short time I've been on this, you know, in this earth in this lifetime. Man, there's so many other things that I could be doing at my age, you know, and I don't care. I'm just saying in general, like you know, because you know, from a worldly perspective, people be like, oh, you just young, you got all this much life to live, and you know, you should be doing this and that, da 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 da. I don't give a damn about none of that, man. I don't really care, you know. I said before I was even in this truth, man. I said I hate money. And I didn't really understand why I said that at the time because it's not like I've reached a level of success to where I could say that, you know, it drove me crazy or it made me act a certain way because I never have got a certain type of money to where it made me act like that. But I said that before I came into the truth, and now I understand why. I fully understand it. As a young man, if the water tell you how about Shema was shy for, allow me to get that understanding. But I'm going to reread. This is in Psalms 19 and verse 2. It says, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge, and there is no speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Their line is going out throughout all the earth, and all their words to the end of the world. It says, in them have you set a tabernacle for the sun. So, you know, basically, like I said, this truth, us being Israelites, it has gone out throughout all the earth, man. That line, that net, that internet, you know, the unicorn. Everybody has seen it, man. I've seen brothers. I think it's called the analytics, where you can see people who watch your videos in different countries, in Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, Australia, South America, you know, Sweden, Germany, France, Belgium, you know, Mongolia, Canada. You got people that's watching our videos, you know, all in all these different countries. You know, I'm not sure if I said the Philippines yet. South Korea, North Korea. Like I said. I've seen brothers show where you got the analytics where it shows you the amount of languages that people speak that's watching these videos and what countries they live in. So this truth is going out. It has gone out. There's no excuse, right? There's no excuse.